Okay, let's continue. I literally only took a break to go fill up my tea, and I'm continuing on with my adventure. Ironsworn Starforged Vaults of Vaarn, and the story of Ardel Santos and his current misfortunes as he delves into this ancient worship that was mysteriously devoid of life until it wasn't. A scuffle with a couple of protocol bots, or utility bots rather, and a whisking off into a medical facility and gases to make him fall asleep. We open on Ardel as he awakens and takes stock into his new surroundings. And so, welcome back, everybody. So, this session, or rather this continuation of this session with a small break to get tea, is going to be a little interesting because I've never had a situation in which my character was taken away from me narratively, where it was no real option for my character to do anything. So he has no agency in this moment. He is strapped to a medical facility bay type of thing, and there are bright lights everywhere. And he had seen a large monumental structure off in the distance while he was being whisked away on the stretcher as he looked out into this domed glass corridor, and he saw pods on the wall of this inside of this massive ship. What that means to him, don't know, but we did mark that it was a piece of information for his background vow that something is out there. Got to find a way off this rock to the stars. So that fulfills one little bit of this vow. And that discovery counted as a discovery for the tracks. So he wants to, he is currently, I think I'm going to have to set the scene first before I decide what he's going to do. Because narratively, I can't see him doing much here. I guess he could try to facilitate his firebrand ability to like burn his binds away, but there's no need for it. So, I think what I'm gonna do is, pardon. Oh wow, wave of tiredness. That happens to me sometimes. Got Earl Grey this time. Okay, so I think he's gonna try to compel somebody again, but I think he's going to try to assess his situation. So he's going to do that with observation. So what I envision is that while he's kind of hooked up to this this oh my god, this medical facility room. I almost wanted to double check I was recording. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have Ardel roll wits to try to secure an advantage here. So with expertise, focus, and wits, or observation, roll wits. So let's see here. 3 and a 4, and he got 4 plus his wits is 3, so 7. So he did get a strong hit. On a hit, you succeed. On a strong hit, take both. So we are going to have Ardel. He's going to gain 2 momentum. So he's going to go from 3 to 5. Okay. And he's going to add +1 to his next move. So I envision that as being the kind of observing of these people in this space while they're tinkering and doing their thing. And part of it is that his protocol bot, which is programmed with knowledge of cultures, languages, and customs. And when you are aided by the bot as you make a move in a formal social interaction, add +1. So there is a potential that with this assessing of the situation, and he observes the people's manner in their speech, the protocol bot is taking that language in, and very much like the Babelfish, is translating it over time and learning the syntax and learning the way that that these humans are speaking to each other. And I've used this term before, but it's a lot like there's a scene in the movie The 13th Warrior where Antonio Banderas' character is sitting around a campfire with these foreigners. Well, he's the foreigner, and they're all speaking their native tongue. And the first time that he sits down, they're all speaking their tongue, and he has no idea what they're talking about. But it fades in like a montage. At every new campsite, every new scene, he sits down and he pays attention. And he picks up a word here and there. And it's one of my favorite scenes in so many movies because it conveys the passage of time. It conveys the how long it would take to learn a language and that observation and that patience it takes. And while Ardel is not doing that specific thing, his protocol bot is sort of speeding that process up, and he is in this position where he can't do much but just be hooked up to this bed and watch these medical people come in and out. Some are in robes, some are in like scrub uniforms. A couple of times there's an individual in a suit that comes in. So there is a lot of hubbub about Ardel being there. But Ardel has been unable to speak because there is effectively things down his throat, and he's in and out of consciousness. But while he is conscious, his protocol bot is always working, is always doing its thing. So in that fact is that we open onto the scene where Ardel is awake finally and is fully in the scene and has action. And so with that secure advantage, we're going to add a +1 and utilize the protocol bot a +1. So we're going to add +2 to a compel roll. We're going to encourage. So we're going to roll with heart. We're going to encourage someone to enlighten him of the situation and why he's tied down, why he is in this bed. And, the obvious answer is he was pretty low health. They probably wanted to save his life, but why is he here? And why are they there? There are so many questions he wants to have answered. But right now, he's just going to try to, get the attention of the first person that doesn't seem to just have their mask on and doing their job and not looking at Ardel. Some of them don't seem to be giving him the time of day. Some of them do seem to be looking into his eyes with a little pen light and stuff like that. But they don't really acknowledge him trying to speak, because up until right now, he has been unable to say more than a few blathering words in his own language. So now that he knows some of the words because of his protocol bot, he's going to try to speak very broken language that these humans speak. Come on, Ardel. Oh, okay. We got a 3. That was a 3. A 3 and an 8 on the challenge dice. And we got a 3 plus heart plus, so that's a 7. Oh, so close. I can't make it into a strong hit with that. So, with a weak hit, they do what you want or agree to your conditions. We take a momentum. So I'm going to do that now. We do gain a momentum. So we go up to 6. We go up to 6 now. But it comes with a demand or complication. Envision their counteroffer. So this makes sense. This makes narrative sense because he is tied down. And I don't know why they tied him up. It just, the scenario was, the complication was that he showed up into this galley space and a emergency team responded to his arrival. But why did they do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll on a table that I used to roll on a lot back in my OG Ironsworn days. And it is these core oracles. The action and theme, and the descriptor and focus. Now, I'm going to roll. So I think I'm going to do action and focus. I'm gonna roll on action and focus. So 83. So scheme, scheme, and then focus is 50. Scheme machine. Okay, so that is a little loaded, meaning there's a lot to that thing here. So we are in a medical facility, and we rolled as a reason why Ardel was taken here. Taken, or, what, hospitalized or whatever. And I rolled scheme and machine. Now, I love the dice. I love how the dice always tell the story. Oh man, okay. This is so good, so good. Okay, so I immediately go back to last session. For me, it wasn't that long ago, so it's fresh in my brain, where he fought those utility bots. And those utility bots went haywire, right? Well, scheme machine. And the reason why they took Ardel was that is exactly what they knew was going to happen. is that any new being, any new life that comes into the ship, either that they were already there, and they explain in their way, but Ardel picks up the kind of the gist of it through his protocol bot. And they basically explain to him that they're trying to regain the control of the ship from these utility bots, from these machines. So they're trying to scheme against these machines. And they wanted more information on what happened to Ardel. They have not been up there in quite some time. Remember, it was all done and dusted. It was all covered in dust and not used in a while. Though there was power, because the machines need power, there was no human presence up in those upper engineering spaces. So they have settled and have regrouped underneath into the main living areas. Oh man, this is so cool. Okay. I'm actually going to say this, is that this alone is going to have me fill out another waypoint for free. Only because the amount of information that he's being told, and he's in this new space, and he's safe, and he's into a new waypoint, if you will, that is effectively a free, a progress mark on undertake an expedition. So he reached a waypoint, and now he's going to mark progress per rank of the expedition. So, and I think this is a situation where he's in a safe place. And they wanted to know, because they wanted to know what happened, I'm going to ask the Oracle that it is almost certain that they were trying to heal and to save Ardel's life. In fact, I'm not going to roll. Do you know why? Because it already was described that an emergency medical team was coming to that scene, and they whisked him away. Because they couldn't speak the language, they just took him and saved his life. So, that being said, I'm going to have him roll a recovery move. So we're going to do a recovery move here. And it's going to be a heal. When you receive medical care or provide treatment, envision the situation and roll. So if you receive treatment from someone, not an ally, roll iron. Okay, so we are being treated by somebody. So we're going to roll iron. So our iron is only, unfortunately, it is a 1. So we're going to roll iron. Nothing here is going to help us. So 3. I am actually going to burn my momentum here because I want a strong hit. Because his health is so low. So I'm going to burn a momentum here. And it would be a 6. Now, the thing about momentum is that when you burn momentum completely, it replaces your entire roll. So this does not exist anymore. And therefore, your bonuses don't exist anymore. It's just this roll. That's why momentum only goes up to 10. Because your bonuses and everything can only add up to 10 ever. And that is why the highest number on here is 10, and therefore it kind of leans on the weak hits more often than not, than the strong hits. But anyway, so we have a, I don't know what this was. I think it was, I can't remember. It was a weak hit, and I wanted it to be a strong hit. So we're going to burn all of our momentum that we had been gaining this whole time makes sense. So he is recovering. So it goes back down to 2. Okay? And on a strong hit, the care is helpful. If you or the ally under your care are wounded, clear the impact and give 2. Otherwise, take or give 3 health. So we are going to take 3 health. So we are going to go from 1 now all the way up to 4. So we have 4 health, which is so much better than he was before. And he's feeling a little refreshed. He's feeling a little more calm. He's feeling a little more focused. And he starts to feel his hands, and he can feel the warmth and the red that's on his hands turn to purple and then turn to that blue little flame on his hands. And then, he snuffs it when people come by. He doesn't really want them to know, even though they are helping him, apparently. So, narratively, we understand that they want information about what happened to him up in the upper stations of the ship. And there's no reason for him to lie or anything like that, so he's just going to share what happens. And they take that and say, we have tried to get rid of those things, but this is where he sees that a lot of the uniforms look ragged, look old and worn, even the ones that are clean. And he notices that an armed guard behind or outside his door, of the medical wing of this place, there's still an armed guard out there. That gun, that thing doesn't look modern, doesn't look like something that he has. And he has this, I forget what I called it. I had a name for the weapon that Ardel had. He has a spore thrower, an obsidian spore thrower. So this thing that came with him is with his gear, and is up on a weird kind of clear pedestal with like luminescent sort of bioluminescent sort of lights that are underneath a clear kind of glass, plexiglass look. And on top of this nice, clean, clear table is his dirty backpack with his spore thrower and his gear and everything. And he looks over to his stuff, looks back over to the guard, and says to the person he's been talking to, how long have you guys been here? Because this ship, obviously built for war, looks like it has crashed here well before my lifetime. And there's so many questions that he wants to ask, but that's all he wants to ask. So, and indeed, how long have they been here? I could just kind of say that they've been here X amount of years or whatever. And this is something I've always actually struggled with in this game, in any of the Ironsworn games, is the concept of time, where it's not really important is until it means something, and mostly you're going from scene to scene, or you're talking about long ago or not that long ago. And I kind of want to say it was long ago, and we know that this is an ancient ship, and that is the scans from his little like wrist information, a device that he has that has like trade routes and things like that he had been discovering along the route. The scan from that device told him that this ship was ancient and was built for war. So he puts two and two together, and Ardel kind of looks at this human, which I haven't named. I'm not going to name anyone right now, just because narratively he's just talking to the people who are taking care of him. And he goes, "How long have you had this problem with these utility bots?" And the woman goes, "Well, for as long as I've been alive." And I'm just gonna say, is this person older? I'm gonna say 50-50 because I don't know. 80. So no, she's young. So maybe they've only been around for her entire life, but maybe she's definitely old enough to be a nurse or a caregiver, a provider of some sort. So had to go to school, so probably 20, 30 years, something like that. So regardless, it's been a long time. Well, I have this machine over here, and you asked how I dealt with them. Well, that's how I ended up down here. Unfortunately, I found myself outnumbered, and a bad situation led to a worse one this fall. But I thank you for helping me. And he pats himself down. He feels better. He's a little more invigorated. And he goes, "Could I please be free of these binds? I don't need them anymore." So that's a compel roll, actually. As much as it just seems narratively like that would be that's something that he would just do again. So this is another compel roll, and this is definitely encourage and barter for his freedom. So he's going to roll heart, which is for him +2, and he is utilizing the protocol bot, so he gets +1 for this. So he gets a +3. Good. 7. So close. A weak hit. All right, so he does get that bonus of a momentum boost. So he goes up to 3 now. And he is let loose. But he has to stay under armed guard. He has to stay the compromise is that he has to stay with somebody at all times. Fair. That's fine. I'm just trying to find my way to this place to help me. What was the name of the place? I don't think he knows the name of the settlement, and I haven't even rolled any information about this settlement yet. So he is currently right here in this varnished wreck in this mountainous region here. And it's another 6 days or so to get to the settlement. About 6 days of travel, there's apparently a village or a settlement of some sort north of here. And immediately a woman, you know what? I need to clarify something for the people who live here. Do they know that they're in this place? Like, I have an inkling that they are from outer space, but they also could have been from Earth, URTH, as per the lore of this game. Yeah, so they could have been from this planet from a long, long ago. So I'm gonna ask the Oracle, is this ancient starship originally from Earth? URTH. I know that's confusing to hear, but that is what it is. What they named this planet is Earth. URTH. I'm going to have to give this, like, I don't know. So 50-50. I could say that it's likely that it's from this place. They are humans, but they couldn't speak his language at all, and there was no tie to it. And he was also a hermetically sealed human in a society that was hermetically sealed from the outside for such a long time. So, in theory, if they were sealed up at the same time as he was, as his society was, they would eventually speak something of a similar dialect, but they didn't. So I'm actually going to say that it's unlikely that this ship came from this planet. So 25 or less. 38. So no, that confirms it. Yes, that's so cool. So that's another discovery on his background, is that I know it's the same place, but more information that this is definitely 100% like that. The discovery of the pods and that, ancient architecture and stuff like that confirmed to him that there was a way off of this planet. But now he knows that these guys came from outer space, came from the great beyond, came from the blackness that's out there, came from the sparkles out in the sky. So that is wild. That is wild. So 100% this starship came from outer space, crash landed on Vaarn. So with that sort of revelation, or rather not revelation, that was just asking the Oracle. They say that they've been here for as long as anyone in this room has, and their generation, and their parents, and their parents' parents, and their grandparents' grandparents. They've been here their entire civilization. Their entire civilization has been living and breathing within this place. So Ardel is going to ask one simple question. Do you guys know what planet you are on? And I'm going to say they call it Earth? Do they call it something else? Okay, guys. All right. I'm going to roll something. Planets. Right? We know that this is a vital world, right? Page 50. This is a vital world because there are people on here. We can go around vital world. And there are names on here. So these are just sample names, and I know there can be more. In fact, just because of variety, I want it to feel a little unique. So I'm going to break out the Starsmith and go to planets and go to vital. There should be more names, I think. I don't know. I have not actually used this in a long time. Names, here we go. Wow, that's a lot of names. There's quite a few. There are 3 tables of names. So I'm going to roll a d6. And I think the first one, yep, this is the same list as the original, the first one, 1 to 2. So I'm going to roll a d6 along with the this, and we'll go through. So 5, the 5 table, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So it's going to be this one, and 47 is the 47. The name for 47. Isis. Isis. We landed on Isis is all that is in our database. Oh, I should ask. Oh my God. There's so much that me as the player, I just want to like fill out and world build ISIS as they scanned it and knew it before it was this, but I'm going to resist. It's one of those things where this is what happens to me during regular gameplay. I probably wouldn't do now, but I probably would do it as I finish this scene, and then I'd stop, and then I'd world build. I'd write a bunch of notes on how it was different and everything like that. But effectively what's happening to Ardel is this massive lore dump. Massive lore dump. So they call that Isis, planet Isis. Called this planet Isis. And from computer core info. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually have him try to complete this exploration of this place. So I need an 8. He has an 8 out of 10 right now. And why I'm doing this progress roll now is that I envision the scene has been transitioning slowly from him putting on his stuff, and he's gathering information from these people. And I've been rolling just for a bunch of oracle rolls and stuff like that, but he hasn't made any sort of gather information or compel rolls to gain more information. This is just all the stuff that they've been telling him. So when I complete this, then I'll transition into more of the a meat and potatoes style scene where he will do more Iron Sworny Starforged things instead of just a bunch of lore drops. Oh, 6 out of 7, which makes this a strong hit with a complete thingy. Woo. Okay. Woo. All right. So with a strong hit on finish an expedition, when your expedition comes to an end, roll the challenge dice and compare your progress, which we did. On a strong hit, you reach your destination or complete your survey, which is what we did. Mark a reward on your Discovery's Legacy track per expedition's rank. So this was a dangerous thing, so we marked 2 ticks on our discoveries. Yes! So we completed a discoveries box, which I can't remember exactly. Yep. And so that is what we do. So it's kind of to fill these out. We want to undertake expeditions in a place and then finish an expedition. So it's really cool how this works. Is that because while you're traveling, while you're exploring the Cerulean Maw, we are discovering various things along the way. And when we complete our journey to get here, we will mark discovery. We will mark discovery because we learn more about the place that our character is in. That's really cool. I love how this is. So we made that discovery. We already did that. Check. Okay. They called this planet Isis from their computer core information. We finished the expedition. And so I think what's going to happen here is we are going to transition into a new sort of scene here. So the scene here is I kind of envision more of an open sort of colony ship type of situation. And in fact, I'm going to spend okay, I can't help but do this, so I'm going to do it anyway. And this is what brings me joy about this game. And I hope that you will bear with me, because this is just such a fun thing to do. So we know that it's a starship, right? And I'm going to pick one. I think this is going to be a oh, what is it? It is not. Yeah, it's an Iron Home. Okay, it's a habitat ship, but it was outfitted for warship, so it's like a dreadnought. So we're gonna say that it's a dreadnought. All right. So the scene. So the internal of an ancient dreadnought class starship, right? Dreadnought class starship. And so the initial contact was definitely neutral or automated. I think they were just on autopilot to try to help him. And we already know what it looks like, right? But let's name this particular ship. So I want to name this ship. And I want to know what this starship mission was. So, name. So let's name this ship. Oh man, this is so much fun. And we got 69. Nice. Okay. The Royal Signet. Oh, yeah. Royal Signet. And what their original mission was. Now, oh, no. Oh, good. I have a heater grate right underneath my desk. It almost went down. Okay. I gotta pick a location in which this planet is in. I'm gonna say that it's in the Expanse. All right. We got 92. Roll twice. Okay, all right. So let's do that again, huh? We got 23. So 23 in the Expanse is defend against an attack. Okay, that makes sense. Mission. Defend against attack, which is funny because it's exactly what they're doing right now, defending against the slow but methodical overtake of the utility bot overlords. And 58 also provide shelter. Oh my god, provide shelter. I mean, you just can't. Whenever I watch other content creators out there, other soloists are rolling on these tables and they're creating stories and they're narrating what's happening, very much like what I'm doing. And I'm just a little guy. I'm just doing it for myself, putting it out there for people to watch if they want to. But there are people out there who are creating it for everybody out there to watch. People like Me, Myself, and Die, and Man Alone, and Wallona's Cave, and many others off the top of my head I can't remember, but all these other soloists, you know, and sometimes I see in comments that these people are scripting these events. And here's the thing. Dice are fate. Dice are chaos. But dice are also the arbiter of the story. And sometimes you got to let the dice tell the story. And come on. Defend against attack. They're doing exactly that. And they're providing shelter now. Even though they were a dreadnought class starship. Like, you can't make this up. I cannot make this any better. I would not have thought about all this specifically, but the dice did. And that's what's so amazing about this game. Okay, so we have the name of the ship, we have the class of the ship, and its current mission, which is awesome. I think we definitely need to find somebody. And now here's the thing. I think with anyone in this ship, I'm definitely going to roll Ironlander. I'm going to roll a bunch of names that are from this book for sure, not from the Vaults of Vaarn, because they're not from this planet. So they would have nothing to do with this planet. No names, no customs, no nothing. Interestingly enough, though, they do have a mycomorph up in that lab up there. And that's interesting. I'm wondering if they even know about that, since they've been, what do you call? They have been, oh wow, they've been pushed down into the living, quarters for so long. What was I doing? I wanted to roll on some character names, and let's get one name. Is there a captain? Is there, and this is all information that Ardel will get over time. And I envision him meeting people and saying hi and all of this. And he's learning and he's getting to know the community. But this community just happens to be a spaceship from the Forge. That's so freaking cool. Oh, man. Okay, so we have the leader, all right? Leader. We're going to roll on the name. So we got lots of names here to choose from. What's their name? 25. 25. We have Creed. All right, Creed. And they do have family names. 73 family name. Creed Murad. Ooh, that's a Creed Murad. And what is this particular person? What's their role here? I mean, there's lots of roles here. I kind of want. I'm actually curious. Does the Starsmith Expanded Oracles add more for the characters? Character Oracles. Roll. Oh, yes, it does. Okay. Quite a lot, actually. Character roles. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so I will do that just because there's a lot more options. So the first table, that's fine. And then 58. 58. A navigator. Yes, this is so cool. Creed Murad, who is the ship's navigator, which is funny, which means that there must be some need to keep the navigation stuff, or at least teach the people about navigation and how to track the stars. Maybe their sensors still work and they can track the stars. So maybe there we go. Perfect. That's all I need to know right now before I wax poetic about all that stuff and talk 20 minutes about no real story stuff. Okay, so Creed Murad is talking to Ardel about his position and everything. So I'm going to come up with, and that's the leader. The leader is the navigator, right? And I'm going to come up with another person who is another name. Aspect given name. Nice. Geez, so many names. So many names. All right, 3. So this is on this table here. 8. So we have Alistran. Ooh, Alistran. Alistran what? Second one on 7 for their family name. I hope they have. Yep. 7. Cade. Alistran Cade. Alistran Cade. And what do they do? What is their role? All right. I think this use of the Starsmith oracles is amazing. I love this OG book so much. I'm so used to using it. But when I just want lots of variety, this is really cool. You don't need all this variety, but this is really cool. All right, so what is their role first? Let's go back to their, not their goal, their role. 6, so that is this table. 68. 68. Refit specialist. Refit. Oh, I don't know what the author intended onto what that to mean, but I know what I'm going to have that mean. Refit specialist. Now, this is somebody who has come into the conversation and is asking Ardel how his spore thrower works and everything like that. But he's probably someone who reorganizes bulkheads and figures best how to make a square peg fit into a round hole, that kind of thing. He's that kind of engineer. So I'm going to write also engineer, like engineer, just so I have a little note thing there. So he's the ship's lead engineer. And so those are just the 2 people that I want to write. I could just fill out all these, like all the roles out for this ship. But I'm not going to do that because that would just take forever. And even though I know I would enjoy doing that, again, like I've discussed before, watching someone write all this stuff out for hours on ends it's kind of boring. So I'm gonna do a roll here, and the roll that I want to do is he wants to gather information. Okay, he wants to do research, and he's trying to learn more on the situation about the bots. And the stakes are fairly low here because he is in a friendly space. And I think, yeah, he just wants to gather some more information on their plight. So I got a weak hit because 2 plus his wits is 5. Can't make that into a strong hit, but the information provides new insight, but also complicates your quest. Envision what you discover, then take +1 momentum. Okay, so he goes up to 4 momentum, and I believe he learns more about these bots. So these utility bots. Oh, you know what? I think he learns that there are more of them. Learns that they have started to self-replicate. And that is not great. And oh, I just thought of something. The utility bots. I'm going to ask the Oracle just so I know right away, because I'm going to forget. Are the utility bots, because this is a place that came from outer space and not from I'm going to say Vaarn. I'm going to call it Vaarn, even though I've been saying Earth. It's just too similar to, well, Earth. And I know why it's called Earth in the rule book, because I feel it is a post solar punk sort of feel of Earth itself, and that's why it's that way. But I'm going to say, for in my game, in my world, it is not Earth anymore. Even though I've said that a few times, and I have referenced the land of Vaarn as Earth, I'm going to retcon and say that it is. They called it Isis, but it is Vaarn to them. Okay. The region of this place is also called Vaarn, but for sake of simplicity's sake, it is Vaarn. Okay, so I wanted to ask the Oracle, are the utility bots infected with the nanomachines that are apparently everywhere on Vaarn? I'm going to say that is likely. So 75 or less, likely. 27. Yep. Okay, so utility bots learns that they have started to self-replicate, infected by varnish nanomachines. Now that's interesting, which ties into why they started to go haywire, and also why the protocol bot, which is made of the same stuff, the nanomachines, also went haywire. Something tells me that that is linked somehow, and I haven't quite figured that out, narratively. But it's definitely a thread that is there, that's been there this whole campaign so far. Okay, so the utility bots are definitely learned to self-replicate. That's definitely bad, which means that the longer that they take to try to deal with them, the more the utility bots can gain in numbers or replace themselves. So that's the unfortunate, complication of the information that he gathers. So this is where he's going to make a vow. This is his first time that he's made a vow to a community. But before he makes that vow, he wants to do something that he has not felt that he could do until recently. He wants to make a connection. When you search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing relationship, not an ally or companion, roll heart. So, I'm trying to make a connection to this. Now, these are usually used for individuals, but I do want to have this as like a community one as well, which I know Ironsworn, the bonds are with communities and also people or factions. But this move specifically doesn't say that it is for a particular person. It just says search out a new relationship or give focus to an existing one. So that's all that he's going to do. So he's going to try to connect with these people as best as he can. He sees their plight, and his scans with his gear on and everything, he knows that those utility bots were infected by those nanomachines. And then he instinctively touches his temple and his forehead, and his eyebrow, where his protocol bot has kind of recessed subdermally a bit to be as not present. Remember, the protocol bot of his can kind of morph and change and meld into his body or detach. So he's going to roll heart. I will say I will give the protocol bot the +1 because he is making a move in a formal situation. And so I'm going to oh wow, I just read the okay, I'm gonna have to retcon something because I know that it was a strong hit before. On a strong hit with a match, if you use him, you learn something which builds understanding or empathy. Also mark 1 tick on your Bond's legacy track. I'm going to mark 1 because I know that happened back when he was connecting with the medical people. So I'm going to keep that alive. All right. So I'm going to have him do this again. So I got to keep track of the protocol bot thing. Whenever I use him, I could possibly gain more stuff, more ticks on the Bond's legacy track. 2 and a 7, so that's only a weak hit. And 2 plus 1 plus 3. Wait, 2 plus 4 is 6. Oh, so close. So unfortunately, it's not a strong hit, but it's a weak hit. On a weak hit, you create a connection. Give them a role and rank. Whenever your connection aids you on a move closely associated with their role, add +1 and take +1 momentum on a hit. Okay, so it is implied that it is a person. That's fine. So I'm going to say that he makes a connection to Creed, the leader. Okay, so I'm going to put a progress track next to him. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm actually going to give him a dangerous, which is 2 full boxes per progress. So add +1. So whenever your connection aids you on a move with their role, so navigation stuff, so getting around the ship might be navigation, or navigating stuff by the stars. So his particular role might be a little bit thing. So I'll just say +1 and +1. And +1 momentum. Okay. On hit. Okay. So I'm just going to write that there real quick. And I think he is going to talk with a Creed and say, I think I can deal with your protocol, your utility bot problem. So you see that spore gun over there? That deals with that kinds of infections and keeps them at bay. Let me exterminate these vermin from your ship. And if I do, would you help me learn about this thing? And he points out to the royal signet and says, this dreadnought ship of yours. And a Creed nods his head and basically says, if you can help us with our utility bot problem, I'll do more than that. And so I'll leave that there. So I'm going to have him swear a vow. So his next vow is a pretty big one. And I think this is going to take a while, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is to vow to eradicate deal with bot infestation. I'm going to give this a dangerous again, which is, of course, 2 full boxes per hit. And he's going to say, so he's going to take his piece of iron, which, if I remember correctly, which I don't, so I'm going to, his gear is his, oh yeah, his, what is his piece of iron? Oh, I really wish I'd remembered what it was. Find a book of knowledge, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm not going to spend time trying to find it in my chicken scratch. So he is going to hold his iron and say, I vow upon this piece of iron that I will deal and eradicate these bots from your ship upon my honor. And let's make a roll. All right, plus heart, and I am utilizing my bond and my protocol bot. So this is a plus 4. If you swear a vow to a connection, add 1. We don't share a bond yet. We're not bonded. So plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. So it's a plus 3. Plus 2. So this is a plus 5. Wow. Okay. 6 plus 5 is, well, it's 11, but it's only a 10. It's a strong hit. And because of the protocol bot, I get to mark another another tick on my bonds track as I learn something about their maybe actually Creed says something about the nature of these bots and how best to navigate through the areas, how not to be seen, stuff like that. He's trying to explain to Ardel all the ins and outs of this ship so he can best help him eradicate the bots from the ship. Ardel is emboldened, and he knows exactly what he has to do. He earns plus 2 momentum. So he goes from 4 all the way back up to 6. And Ardel goes, I think I know what I need to do. And I think I got to end it there, actually. My timer went off a while ago. I have no idea how much over my hour mark that I am. So, wow. Again, this was another kind of... This particular episode was just heavy on the fluff, light on the crunch. But fascinating story-wise stuff. Starship from outer space definitely crash landed and infested with bots, and now he's taken an iron vow to take care of them. And this is going to be fun. I'm really enjoying this. He's going to be delving into this ship to try to do that again. And so he knows part of this ship. So I will say that he knows part of the ship, not the whole ship. And that's what that original Undertake expedition was that excursion into where he currently is. But I think I will have to end it there, folks. And I will probably pick this up at some other point down the road. That was a fun one. But I invite you all to rest, relax, go play your games, and enjoy yourselves. But until next time, I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.